Hey guys, it's Brian and Ben back once again for a special edition of Herfin Heads, the Ebony and Ivory edition. The Ebony and Ivory. It's the Sam Leccia white and black label is what we're doing. Ben's doing the black, I'm doing the white. How you doing, Ben?
Doing fine so far.
And Ben confirmed to me what I think everybody knows about these cigars, that his has the fire cured or the dark fire tobacco in it, and mine is the one that does not. And yeah, so I guess I'll go through the basics of I can go through the basics of both since I have them both handy here. So the white label, which I have as an African sun-grown wrapper, it has a Habano Ecuador binder, has Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Pennsylvania Seco fillers in it. And in the slick little brochure I got, which is probably backwards online there, at IPCPR, it said that the big thing about Pennsylvania is it's Sam's home state. So for these, you're looking at for the Robusto, which is what I think we're both doing. You got a Robusto, right?
Yeah, I got a Robusto.
Yeah, so you're looking at about 100 MSRP of about $167.16. Unusual number, but I got it off the internet, so it has to be true.
Right.
And looking about just under $8 a stick for this. Now, in the case of the black label, it's Habano Ecuador wrapper, a Nicaraguan Rosado binder, Nicaraguan, Dominican, Brazilian Modafino Seco or Viso, excuse me, and the dark fire, which is the fire cured tobacco in the filler. And so it's wood fire cured tobacco, which I think everybody is aware of. And the Robusto, it's a little more expensive than mine. The box of 21 is about 100, just over $174 or $8.30 a stick. So that covers the important essentials at the beginning. You had some thoughts on yours smoke almost immediately before we even started videoing, so I'll let
Yeah.
you get right into that.
Yeah, they all come with cellophane wrappers, obviously. But let
Thank
me tell
God.
you, when you pull the black out of its cellophane, you're immediately hit by a very smoky, pungent aroma that you can actually smell the cigar for almost arm's length away. And the aroma, I also smoke pipes pretty much only in the wintertime, but I tobaccos, and this reminds me of English blend tobacco or something, kind of like Squadron Leader, or a blend like that. The traditional English blend. That's what this cigar smells like, and it is very potent. The aroma of the cigar, I mean, it fills the room up.
So you're saying that they would actually smell the cigar coming before they smell you coming? Is that
Oh, it's by far.
by far? Oh, wow, that's pretty damn potent. I actually took a sniff of one when I was taking some pictures for this, and that's I acids or anything else with all the crazy smells and aromatics and stuff, that stuff will just that hits you in the face. That's some pretty intense aroma there. I don't know about the pipe tobacco comparison because I don't really smoke pipes hardly at all that aren't crack pipes, and so
It shows.
yeah, exactly. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's
Like normal.
yeah. So mine doesn't have nearly as pungent of an aroma, and it's got the I've noticed looking at it. It's an African sun-grown. I'm guessing that means Cameroon. I don't know. African sun-grown. I
I
guess
don't
it's
know.
not
That's
Cameroon. I
that's.
don't
I
know
don't
what
think
that
I've ever
means.
heard of that on any other cigar before.
Yeah, so that's kind of unique. Which makes it a really much more interesting cigar, knowing that that's in there, and plus the Pennsylvania tobacco. And I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing the fine little, the water spots you often see on Cameroon, and the fine veins, and some of the tooth. But it doesn't strike me as being quite as thin, maybe as a Cameroon. I know yours. How does yours look? I'm guessing yours is nice and thick for being a
Yeah,
Habano
it
Ecuador.
actually is. It's relatively thick. I mean, it has like some glistening spots on it where the oil is still coming through, extruding through the wrapper. But I mean, I don't know if this will even pick up. It's probably too dark, but it's got a really nice, smooth wrapper actually. It's a nice looking cigar, actually.
So it's got oil seeping through, or is that bacon grease from earlier?
We can only hope it's bacon grease.
Yeah, that would be awesome, right? I mean, that would work perfectly for that, right? I mean, smoky,
Smoked.
charry, bacony,
Hell yeah.
bourbony.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. Well, I think we got it all. Well, you know what? I'll just put it out there. Not that we're reviewing them, but since I have it at hand, this comes in four sizes that I'm aware of so far. Both of them. The Corona 4 by 46. I think it's both of them anyway. The Robusto 5 by 52, the Toro 6 by 50, and the Exo Gordo, which is the ever popular, ever ginormous 6 by 60. It's anyway. So yeah, that was weird. I think that pretty much covers everything. I think we should just light this damn thing up and get going, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, we'll be back in a second. All right, we've been smoking here for a few minutes, and Ben's chugging along like he likes to. He's got it almost a third smoked at this point, but what are you thinking, man? Does it taste like pipe tobacco? Does it? What was the Royal
Actually, no.
Squadron or whatever?
No, actually, it doesn't really taste like pipe tobacco, even though it smells a lot like it. Really, the flavors I'm getting off of, you get that nice smoky, peaty, kind of a flavor off of it. It's really woody, and it's got a nice little black pepper spice too, combined with that. It's really nice. The smoke's actually not overwhelming like you would think it would be, especially when you smell the cigar. It's actually a nice accent with other flavors. It's actually smoking really well. It's got a sweetness to it that I really wasn't expecting at all either. But the sweetness is kind of an undertone to the rest of this flavors, but it really brings it together. Kind of offsets that real rich smokiness that you get from the beginning. Very good.
Well, Sam did say when I talked to him about it, I actually commented on the smoke and how it complemented the how well he blended the smoke into the cigar. Only to realize I was smoking at the time. Embarrassingly, I was smoking the one that didn't actually have the smoky tobacco. I realized after, I'm like, oh well, of course it's not an overwhelming retarded. Yeah, ugh, you're stupid. You're
Yeah,
not even smoking the right one. Because anyway, so but yeah, he said he spent a lot of time on getting that to work in there. It sounded like he really was cognizant of the fact that it could be ridiculously overwhelming, like it is when you pull it out of the cellophane.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
it's not really. It's really. I mean, it's a nice. It's one of the major flavors of getting out of the cigar, but it's not overwhelming at all. I mean, it's kind of like when you drink one of those real smoky, peaty scotches. That's kind of the way the flavor is with the cigar. It's the same way that comes across. It's like it's not real potent, but you definitely know it's there. It is one of the main flavors, but it's not overwhelming. How's the white one going?
it's going pretty well, and it seems like it's coming off really dry on my palate. But it could be me. But I'm getting it's mostly cedar. I'm getting kind of a this that kind of oranginess to it that I get out of. I think it said this was a sun-grown African sun-grown. So if this is like a lot of sun-growns, and it tastes a little bit like that, it
Yeah,
has kind of an orangey
yeah,
kind of
citrus.
spice, citrus, but not
Yeah,
like over the top that to it. So it's like cedar, and that is mostly what I'm getting, and it's hitting my I'm palate seems like it feels like it's a little on the dry side, so that may be affecting it. There's a little bit of sweetness in there too, but it's pretty mellow so far. A little bit of spice, just a little bit, but it's it's early into it, so who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? I know I had one of these before, but I don't recall off the top of my head if I how where I was thinking it would go with it. So it's been a little while. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes up. And I think that's basically keep this segment short, and we'll jump over into it in I guess say halfway.
yeah. We'll do it halfway.
All right, we'll be back. Well, we're back, and I I am struggling with how to describe the Leccia white label. So I'm gonna turn it over to Ben. This is a quandary right here. This guy. What do you think about yours, Ben?
I'm actually really enjoying this cigar. probably around after about the first inch or so, I started getting that almost that English blend tobacco flavor in this thing with a little bit of sweetness. It was kind of cool as being a fan of English blend tobaccos from on pipes. But I'm at the halfway point now. I'm getting that smoky peatiness, but to me, plus I'm getting the woodiness, a little hint of nuts, but there's also a kind of a leather component that I'm getting a little bit now too. But the sweetness has really came more to the forefront now. I'm getting a lot more sweetness to it. I mean, it's a really great combination. I'm really enjoying this, and actually, I got this cigar at my local shop, the cigar shop in Biloxi. I mean, your sample came from IPCPR, correct?
That is correct. I actually have not seen these for sale. In fact, I don't have a lot of access to Toronto in my area, and I don't buy a tremendous amount of things online. And I've been busy. I'll just come right out and say it. I've been busy. I have samples that I just have not been able to get to just because I haven't had the time. And with samples, I want to be fair and give it my full attention, and I just don't want to smoke it while I'm working. And so I'm going through. I still am smoking plenty of cigars. I'm just smoking things that I'm familiar with that I don't feel like I need to really dedicate a lot of attention to. And this has been one of them. So yeah, with this again, it's unusual. I mean, early on, I got some of the sweeter citrusy notes. Now it got sharper and it's more like Ben was describing. It's got a kind of a grapefruit type of bite, and he was saying sour, and I think that's kind of applies. Um, the card says sweet light sweet cashews in there, and I'm thinking that might be what I get. It's a really unusual thing because the I think the Pennsylvania Secco really kicked in a couple of inches into it, and it really changed everything about how it tasted. It started off really promising, and now it's kind of like it's like flavors are clashing a little bit
Was
for me.
this off balanced?
What's that?
I guess off balanced or something.
Just more like clashing, not like anything is
Yeah,
really crazy out. Though I think that they could the bite could be toned down a bit. I think that would probably help actually. This kind of a sour grapefruity type of bite that it has. Maybe if that were toned down, I would be more inclined to enjoy this. Yeah, just there's still some cedar in it. There's still some dark tobacco flavor, some earth to it, but it just seems like it's a struggle in the flavor department. I don't it doesn't feel like they work together very well. That's what I'm thinking, and yeah, I don't know with this. It's and it's I can't. The thing about it is it's been sitting for a while, so it's had the benefit of plenty of age in a pretty stable environment. I don't think that anything I could have done to it would impart some weird, unusual funkiness to it.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's really interesting, and I was thinking back, and I remember smoking one earlier and not thinking it was too bad, and now I'm like, I don't know, man. I think I'll give it a little while and see what I think. I mean, we're gonna smoke it. We're gonna smoke it to the conclusion. I'm gonna find out, and if it gets really unpleasant, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I like Sam, but I mean, if I don't like it, I don't like it. What can I do, right? So, but it's doing really well in terms of construction. I mean, I'm pulling off ashes like this. I'm knocking them off before they fall off. You know, no
I'm getting,
issue with construction.
I'm getting a good burn on mine as well. And as you can see on camera that it puts off a ton of smoke. The black puts out a lot of smoke on this cigar. And obviously yours does too.
Mine does all right. It seemed like it was a little thin earlier. It might be a little unbalanced. It might be a little that I think maybe that yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know what? It's got a whole rest of the cigar to go through before I make a call. So I'll be fair to it and give it the full run and see how it goes. You got anything else you want to throw in on that?
Yeah, I think we pretty
To
much
yours?
covered it for now.
All right. Well, we'll be back. I'll ash this thing before I wear it, and I really don't want to wear it because that's hot, and my crotch does not need hot right now. Not that kind of
I
hot.
used to be hot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always need hot down there, but not that hot. Not. Anyway. we'll come back, and we'll hopefully my crotch will not be too hot. All right, we're back. We're running short on our smokes, and you know, man, with mine, it's had some interesting flavor developments. I was looking back at Week in Smoke where I talked about this, and I had a pretty positive thing, and I was like, some of this stuff when I first looked at it, like, this doesn't make sense. I don't know where I tasted this, but as it got past that halfway point, and started moving in, I started getting kind of a meatier flavor. Not so much the smoke. The smoke appeared a little bit when I think that the Pennsylvania tobacco first kicked in early on. Not so much of that, but some of the meatier chocolate or kind of a heavier mouthfeel towards the end. But it's still kind of like it's an interesting thing right now, and I don't know if I like the I just don't think I like the combination. Kind of a really it's back to with kind of a punch of citrus plus the meaty chocolatiness, and it just I don't.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah, just it's I gotta say Sam was obviously going for something unique, and he definitely nailed unique. I just don't think it's going to be for everyone, and I just don't think it's for me, honestly. It's just, and I hate to say it, and I got to say that based upon looking at what I said early on back in July, shortly after they were, pre-releases were given out, I think maybe it's something I enjoyed more when it was fresher. But just taking some time and really focusing on it, and it's just don't not digging this. It's not my thing. I mean,
Yeah, I got
don't.
the same vibe when I smoked one. I smoked the black and the white at Crescent City Cigar in New Orleans when I was down there last. And the white one I did not care for at all. I didn't even get. I got about to the halfway point. I just put it down. I mean, I could see where he was trying to go with it. It's just not for my palate. But if you look at all our other cigar blog friends, a lot of them are rated really high. So, I mean, there's a huge segment out there that really enjoys it. But for me,
Yeah.
it's not for me. Now, for me on the black, when I smoked it down in New Orleans too, I thought, well, I like it, definitely like it better than the white, but I don't know if I'll smoke another one because it wasn't something I like. Now that I'm smoking it now, this is the one I bought, at the store in Biloxi. I like this a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed it tonight, but it could be that, in my mind I was thinking that I wasn't going to like it because I didn't really like it when I was smoking in New Orleans. So I kind of had lower expectations, and this definitely exceeded what I was thinking it was going to be. But I mean, I really like it. I really do think that if you're a pipe smoker or you like those real peaty scotches, you're going to love this cigar. Because I mean, I basically this cigar didn't really change its flavor much from the beginning to the very end of it. The only thing that changed was about the midway point. It got a lot more sweeter. Near the back half of the cigar, the woodiness became the dominant note. But through the whole thing, you definitely got that peatiness, that smoky peatiness through the whole core of the cigar. So I think he did really well with this. What he was going after, he did really well with this one. And
Yeah.
it's definitely one I'm definitely gonna smoke it again. I'm gonna revise my initial impressions of it. This is why you don't smoke just one cigar and base your whole thought process of the cigar, what you think it's going to be like, how it is, and all that, off of one stick. You never do that. This is my second one, and the second one I really enjoyed it. Like I was thinking, I wouldn't mind having another one of these tomorrow. As a matter of fact, but
Yeah.
it's good.
I've been a little jealous. You've been talking about that, and I'm like, wow, that does sound a lot better than mine. Like, you know, anything, smoke, and if you like smoky foods and things like that. You said yours is pretty consistent the whole way through. Mine, on the
Yeah,
other hand, has been definitely, I would say, complex and evolved, and it's had a lot of different flavors come through and some transitions. It's gotten a lot heavier now than it started off. Um,
yeah.
uh,
And like this, I said this one say the same from the beginning to the end. And I don't really care. I don't care that it's not complex. If I like the flavor, what the hell do I care if it doesn't change? Or why would I want that? I mean, this from the beginning to the end of it, I like the flavor, so it didn't change. That's okay. I'm okay with that. it don't have to be complex for me to love it.
No,
This cigar kind of was, from it's been pretty stellar. The smoke volume has been great. The construction's really really on. A good burn line the whole way through, and I didn't touch a cigar one time. I don't think you touched yours up either, did you?
no, not really. It's had towards the end. It was had a little bit of unevenness. Right now, it's a little off.
Well, yeah, mine is too right here at the end.
Yeah,
But
but
from the beginning on, it never had a problem.
no, and it wasn't anything I had to do anything about. It was just kind of like I noticed. Oh, hey, it's burning a little slightly unevenly. So here at the end, but yeah, a good solid ash. Strong ash. It's uh, unless you let it grow too long. I did have it fall off on me right when I went to ash it, but fortunately it didn't land in the lap, so no hotness downstairs. But yeah, my desk may never be the same. Um, yeah, I mean, I can admire the good qualities about this. The fact that it is a very involved blend, but it's just not something I think it works for me. So I think that our general thought is go with the black label. The white label, well, you try the white label because because a lot of people do like it, and it is a really interesting smoke. And I don't think I've ever had African sun-grown tobacco before. So,
Well, what was the body on your cigar? Was it medium, full, mild?
it started off maybe medium-ish, and it grew. It's pretty full right now. So it ran the range. It definitely picked up towards the end. Um, Yeah, it was a really really significant transition in flavor, I think, and I think it hit some of that Pennsylvania tobacco, and it changed completely. So it started off, I was really it's like, hey, this is pretty good so far. Starting off, it hit that Pennsylvania, and I was like, oh, something interesting happened here, and I was really unsure about it for a while, and I think there was a point a little past the midway where I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad, but and I think it was because some of that grapefruity sour punch that it had kind of diminished a bit, and I'm like, oh, some of these flavors I kind of dig, and then it came back at the end, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, it had a point where I kind of liked where it was going, and then it went back to a spot where I just didn't care for it. So
Yeah, I didn't get past the midway point on it for me.
yeah,
So, yeah, to me it was a sourness that kind of turned me off on it, and it's not like that, underage tobacco sour flavor. It's just like we described. It's like a grapefruit, like drinking grapefruit juice. It's got that sourness, citrus sour to it. It's just part of the blend.
I mean, it
It's,
points.
it's,
It points. It's like a little bit like you squeeze some sort of a lemon or something over some steak or some steak and chocolate, and it just
steak and chocolate.
I mean, steak and chocolate together might be kind of interesting. Maybe I don't know if there was something. It just no,
I enjoyed the black, and it was full bodied pretty much the whole way through. It's about time. Like right now, I'm at the very end of this thing now, and it's getting a little bit harsh. But I mean, hell, it's a time to pitch this anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I gotta say this is not at all harsh, and it's not overly hot either for what it is. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
if the flavors were a little different, uh, modified a bit, and this is again just one cigar. So I had one early on that young, basically a young sample that I really liked. This is one that's been aging. Again, this is just one cigar, so
yeah.
it's at this point it's like 50-50. I liked it the first time, I didn't like it the second time. I don't know what that means. If I would smoke it again, I'm not really inclined to at this point, but I may have one left, and I'm at some point I will probably smoke it, and we'll see what I think then. So it's hard to say, but you know what? I mean, on its other merits, nothing about it says bad, cheap, anything nasty cigar. It just flavor wise, just not my blend is. It's just not my blend.
One thing I did forget to mention was when I retrohaled the cigar. I get it's a little bit more smoky. I get a little bit more of that spice, but it has a moderate finish on the palate, and when you retrohale it, the finish on it is a little bit different. To me, it almost reminds me of. And when you said your cigar had that meaty quality of it, it's kind of like when a light bulb went off. It reminds me of like smoked meat using mesquite wood, not hickory, but the mesquite, where it's a little bit more like I don't know. People, if if any of our viewers, smoke meat or whatever, like the mesquite gives a little bit more. It's a little bit more pungent, a little bit more sharper, and that's kind of what I'm getting with this when I retrohale the cigar. I mean, it's got that kind of mesquite type of smokiness to it or whatever. It's real famous in Texas. That's all they do is they use mesquite. But it has that quality to it it's pretty nice actually. This would be a hell of a backyard barbecue type of cigar too.
And I
You
can
know?
see how you would be familiar with that, judging by how knowing how much your mom smokes meat. So it seems like that little family information that we passed along. Flavor.
Wow. Wow.
I was working on it. That's what she said, but I could not find a way to get that in. So that's as close as I can get.
Unbelievable.
But that does sound good. What, unbelievable how much your mom smokes meat?
Know how much of a 12-year-old you are.
Oh, this is gonna be any fun unless there's some slams going back and forth. So, but yours sounds good. I'm definitely hitting up the black label as soon as possible. The white label, gonna pass on that for a little while. But you know what? It's not an expensive smoke, so it's definitely worth running out and trying both. See what you think. See if the white label, if you see the same thing in the white label, or maybe I'm off, or maybe this particular blend in this cigar is off. Who knows? So
Well, your palate is shit, so that's true.
that could be
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, but definitely the thing is definitely both of these cigars is not something that everybody's going to love. You definitely have to try them before you buy a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Go to your local brick and mortar and try one out and see before you go out and just order a box. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Sam's a really popular guy, and people really want to support him because he's such a nice guy. But this is definitely not something you should just blind buy a cigar box of off of one of the online sites. You definitely need both these cigars. You need to try them to see what you think about them.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. One of the benefits of supporting your local shop is to, go in and try stuff like this before you take a jump on it. I mean, you might see a great deal online, but you know what? You might be stuck with a box you don't care for. So, I mean,
yeah,
definitely go. Give them a shot. If you see them, if you haven't tried them, and I'm sure by now most people who really follow our site would have tried anything Sam's come out with, and they would know. But if you haven't, it's worth trying. They're very, very unique, very interesting smokes, and you may find something you love. You may find something you pass on. So
and this is something we mentioned this a little bit earlier on in the video, but this Tarano distributes this cigar for Sam. So if you're want to find the shop that has Tarano cigars, and the odds are they'll have this cigar. I mean, it's a hot cigar. It's selling like crazy everywhere.
yeah.
So I wouldn't imagine the Tarano account not picking these up. So if you know one of your local shops is a Tarano dealer, then go there. They'll have them and check them out.
All right then. Well, I think we've pretty much covered it, and yeah, I think we ought to close. Thank you for watching, and we hope you've found this either entertaining or informative, or both. And
Probably neither.
what's that?
Probably neither.
Probably neither. Yeah. hope I hope your sleep, when you play this at night to help you get to sleep, it's been a good sleep. So anyway, it would not be a video. It would not be one of our videos if it didn't end awkwardly. So yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. There we
Like
go.
your mom.
Alrighty. See you later.
Bye.
Alright, say some shit.
Fuck you. Fuck you.